Hi there, I'm Sipka, and this is the Apatros Review. Now in this episode we take a look at a direct-to-video film from the year 2000, just on the edge of the millennium, with this, Tripfall. Now this is an American film, of course. It premiered on Turkish television, first of all, on the 31st of January 2000, and then in the US it had its premiere on the 27th of June 2000, and then a video premiere in Germany on the 30th of November 2000. It was directed, written, and produced by Serge Rodnunsky, a director with a former dancer turned filmmaker who had a really bad reputation in this field, and stars Eric Roberts, John Ritter, Rachel Hunter, Michael Rayner, and Katie Boyer. Now, even though this is a film-only review, Tripfall was released on DVD in Australia through Ninth Dimension, a short-lived budget-priced DVD label that was active between the years 2004 to 2006, putting out DVDs that were all basically priced $10. Now, the only thing I will say about the quality of the print here is that Ninth Dimension had a habit of getting their prints of VHS tapes, but they seem to have a consistent problem with their contrast, because most of these looked like they were washed out to some degree, some worse than others. Unlike their worst offender, the DVD of The Invader, which was a Nick Mancuso film from the late 90s, decent film, I'll review it sometime in the future, I have the VHS of it. Tripfall doesn't count as among the worst of their prints but it's still pretty washed out to a fair degree. But anyway, the English story is fair. Now the disc, it's region 4, so if you're outside of Australia, you're gonna need a multi-regional DVD player to play this. And no subtitles, and the only supplement are basically free preview trailers for other Ninth Dimension films. Now, former dancer turned filmmaker Serge Rodnunsky isn't the most popular of the many direct-to-video directors out there, but even a cockroach like him tends to have his day. Namely, this rather implausible 2000 direct-to-video thriller starring John Ritter as a petroleum engineer, who, while taking his smoking hot Kiwi wife, played by Rachel Hunter, and no, she doesn't get naked, and two kids on a much-needed family holiday to Santa Monica, California, for some decompression time, gets marked by a trio of some really nasty sociopathic killers led by Eric Roberts, who sports 5-inch dreadlocks and an equally ridiculous-looking shirt that looks like a salad took a shit on it, who somehow discovered Ritter's background. He claims he checked out Ritter's hotel registration form, but that sounds as implausible as the rest of the film story, and saw his net worth as little over $1 million, and fast gets his two stooges, Mike Rayner, who sounds like he's eating cigarettes every time he speaks, and Katie Boyer, who seems to dress at least 10 years younger than the appropriate age range, to kidnap Ritter's family, hold him hostage, demonstrate their willingness to kill by stabbing an innocent bystander and a pizza delivery guy in the backs of their heads with ice picks. That shit's just plain nasty, but highly effective in killing people, or for a long screwdriver through the chin it was just as effective. To show Ritter that ain't fucking around, and have Ritter wire $1 million from his account to a local bank to withdraw his cold hard cash. But Ritter seems to take things very level-headed, as he's constantly trying to find ways to outsmart the killer if he's at every opportunity, even while he's looking for all the war like he's playing along. Most of these plans don't work, but eventually one does. Now, even with its somewhat implausible storyline and having all three male leads wearing horrible-looking suited Hawaiian shirts that look like a salad took an Indian curry-induced diarrhea on them, not to mention Eric Roberts' stupid dreadlocks, Tripfall is a rather enjoyably daft thriller that might not feel like a good movie should, but is entertaining enough to rank as a mighty guilty pleasure. If you forgive the implausibility of the story's deductive leaps, the movie moves along pretty nicely. For those who have issues with the film's pacing, this film's not supposed to be an action movie, it's a thriller. So the pacing is just right for the genre, mostly dialogue, but the pacing is pretty decent for a thriller. And the many chances John Ritter has to one-up his tormentors but keeps failing actually adds to the tension, thereby making things look suitably grim. As they've demonstrated previously by icing an entire family during a home invasion, the trio of killers here are nasty, and they will kill to protect themselves or to keep their targets in line. As such, despite the choice of clothing, Eric Roberts, Mike Rayner, and Katie Boyer are truly threatening. Despite a few silly accents on the crook's part, Eric's fake southern accent is hideous, matching Rayner's frog-eating accent. The performance is appropriate for the subject matter. Not that great, but I mean, it's convincing enough. And this might be the only thriller I've seen that includes a fart joke in there somewhere. Nice. Not good enough to be classed as a solid film, but if you're willing to forgive the narrative inconsistencies, this makes for a watchable time waster and also prime material for the Eric Roberts fans out there. Where else can you get to see a hero wearing dreadlocks? Of course, we all know that Eric Roberts has a reputation for just accepting any role for the paycheck. He's done far more work than Julie Roberts has done. Now, Tripfall gets a C+, 5 out of 10. It's passable stuff from Serge Rodnunsky, which is rare to see from that guy. Usually his films are just bad. I've actually got another Serge Rodnunsky film in my collection. I've only got 2 of them. And the other one is Final Equinox. I'll review that, I think, sometime next year. Now, for gore nudity, there's no gore, despite the people getting fatally lobotomized by ice pick and an exploding carrot as well, and a couple of boobs from a strip club performance. As I've already mentioned, Rachel Hunter stays clothed in this one. Now, to reiterate about the DVD, if you get this, there are like the print is fairly washed out, and the only extras are like a few trailers, and it's region 4. So if you have a multi-regional DVD player, you can play this, but make sure it's multi-regional and also make sure that it's PAL compatible. I mean your TV, because I know a lot of Americans have those old school CRT TVs. And yeah, anyway, that's what it looks like. And by the way, the back cover actually mentions that Rachel Hunter starred in a film called You and Your Stupid Mate, which was one of the worst films ever made. It's not an Aussie film, but about 2 doll bludgers who are trying to save an actress from their favorite soap opera. It's a shit film, but it actually mentions that Rachel Hunter was in it. Anyway. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I do not do requests, but if you have any questions about DVDs or films, like, for example, if Australian prints are uncut or something, just hit me on the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Take it easy, and that's it for this review. See ya.